Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing the best path to victory for Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis, as we all know, the incumbent governor of the state of Florida. If Trump decides not to run in 2024, DeSantis is the most likely nominee for the Republicans. I do think that Trump's going to run, which is why I made him the first video of the best path to victory. I'm going to do a DeSantis video of best path to victory. Probably a Kamala Harris one, a Pete Buttigieg one, and a Joe Biden one. For those five people especially, because in my mind, out of those five, one of them will most likely be the president in 2025 in the current state of the country. But yes, let me be clear before I begin this video. This is a best path to victory. This simply means what is the minimum amount of states that Ron DeSantis needs to win, that he has the best shot at winning, in order for him to reach that 270 electoral vote threshold. So once he reaches that, and I give him the states that I think he has the best shot of winning that will get him there, I'm not going to go any farther, and the Democrat will win all the rest. It is simply the bare minimum that DeSantis would need in order to win this election. Before I begin this video, please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are so close to 400 subscribers. We are less than 20 subscribers away. So if you have not subscribed to the channel, please consider going ahead and hitting that subscribe button because I surely cannot wait until we reach 400 subscribers. That will be an awesome milestone. Anyway, now without further ado, let's get into our let's get into our safe DeSantis state, since it is a best path to victory for Ron DeSantis, who is a Republican. Although I do usually start with Democrats. Anyway, safe DeSantis states will be the usual 125 electoral votes we say for Ron DeSantis. Even in a scenario where he's winning, there really aren't any other states that would be safe. Possibly Iowa, but I wouldn't even argue that. I mean, that would have to shift even significantly more in 4 years, which could happen depending on Biden's popularity and the Democrats' popularity. But I'm not sure if that will happen. Anyway, safe Biden states will be the West Coast as usual, the island of Illinois that you usually see, that blue island, and basically the East Coast. I'll leave Connecticut and New Jersey out of it because those could narrow up a little bit. But the rest will be safe Democrats. So 160 electoral votes safe for, I guess, the generic Democrat. I'm not going to give a specific candidate that DeSantis would face. Likely DeSantis races would be the state of Iowa, Ohio, Maine 2nd Congressional District, all of those which have trended to the right. Now, Maine 2nd could fluctuate. It could go Democrat depending on who the candidate is. However, at the moment, DeSantis is the best fit to win that area there, similar to Trump, similar to Obama. Buttigieg wouldn't be able to win that district against most Republicans. Same with Kamala Harris. It depends on the candidate, but at the moment, Republicans are in a very, very strong suit there. And Iowa and Ohio have actually shifted to the right significantly. Also, the state of Florida would be likely Ron DeSantis. It could be even safe by the time we get here, but that is a bit hard to assume in a general election, and it would be a bit of hubris on my side, simply to assume that Florida would shift that far to the right in 4 years. I just don't think that that's possible. However, it has shifted farther and farther to right, thanks to Ron DeSantis, thanks to Donald Trump. For the Republicans, I mean, thanks to the people in the Republican Party, they've been able to have a tremendous effect there. And then another likely state would be Texas. And as you all know, likely characterizations are 5 to 15%. Texas would be on the lower end of that likely margin. Likely Democrat states. Now you can finish off the East Coast, Connecticut, New Jersey. I think that Joe Biden, or not, excuse me, not Joe Biden. I guess I'm assuming, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. I think that they would win Maine 2nd. Actually, no, not Maine 2nd. What am I doing? I think that they would still be able to win Colorado by a likely margin, as it has shifted to the right. Now, I think DeSantis would do well in the Southwest, and could do well with some suburban women in the state of Virginia, especially depending on Glenn Youngkin and his ability to transform the state. He is now the governor of that state, and we will see what policies he implements in order to help that out. But that is going to be certainly very, very interesting. Anyway, also, let's continue into our lean Republican states. Lean Republican state, the usual, North Carolina, as well as, in my mind, the best path to victory. He would have the state of Wisconsin being a lean Republican state. Lean Democrat races. Democrats would still win New Mexico, Virginia, actually Nebraska second. Relooking at that map, it does seem to actually favor the Democrats, and hasn't really changed much. So it could actually end up still going Democratic or being a toss-up state in the future elections. And Republicans would have a hard time winning there because they're losing a bit of the suburban women. But yet we have to see what happens with Glenn Youngkin. Anyway, also Maine 2nd, New Hampshire and Minnesota would all be lean Democrat races. And as we get into our tilt Republican races, so now we're getting into the minimum amount of states that DeSantis would need to win this election. So I think that the next state out of these three, or not three, out of these four states, actually five, that are the final five, that DeSantis has the best shot of winning. I wouldn't say that it was Georgia. Now you're looking at the Southwest or the Rust Belt, and I would actually have to give Ron DeSantis the state of Arizona. When you actually look at the Joe Biden approvals and support among the Hispanic community, that is at an all-time low. And Hispanics, especially Hispanics, have shifted significantly to the Republicans. And I mean significantly. They talk about the black shift, which really was not that much when you look at it and look at the actual data. Look at the Hispanic shift. People said that, look, we're going to it's going to be a minority majority, right? Hispanics are now going to be the dominant, or very dominant in the political spectrum, political functions in this country, given the fact that they are increasing their population, and at a surprising rate, they are becoming significantly more Republican. So possibly going back to those 1980s years when Ronald Reagan talked about making that deal with the Democrats for amnesty, and the Republicans rang it with him. He said that those people were Republicans; they just didn't know it yet. Maybe, even so, 40 years later, Ronald Reagan could have ended up being correct in his assumption of that, and which is why I do think that DeSantis especially would have a good shot of winning Arizona with that shift in Hispanic support. I also see Ron DeSantis winning the state of Nevada if he wins Arizona, and the next possible state would be the state of Pennsylvania, which would push him over the edge at 281. That would mean that the other tilt states would still go to the Democrats because that's the minimum amount he would need. So that, I believe, is actually the exact same margins that Trump would have to win 280, or I had Trump win by 281 electoral votes. But I guess that is just how it goes. There wasn't anything going into that. It's just, I guess that shows the polarization division in this country. You have very similar margins, similar state calls with regards to the candidates. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. Please make sure to go ahead and subscribe to the channel below. Let me know what you think of this and if you would disagree with any of the calls I made. And stay tuned for more awesome videos. Thank you all so much for watching.